live. Yay, live. All right. So, hello everybody that is on YouTube, Rumble, XLive, Twitch. Hello to everybody joining us in the space. We're going to be getting things rolling in just a minute, letting a few people get in here so that we have our people. And this is an open mic space, so if you want to talk about the topics that we're talking about, you're more than welcome to request a microphone. Just vet your account really quick, and then we will bring you up. That's if we don't know you. If we know you, then we don't have to vet your account. But Sippy just got back from Texas, like literally just got back. So he's handling a couple of things, and then he'll be talking, and he's going to talk to us about what it was like the last bit of time at the Collin County Courthouse and some of the experiences that he had. And then we're going to talk about the Charlie Kirk text that Andrew Wilson shared on his show yesterday. So those are our two primary topics for tonight. I'm sure we'll find other things to talk about as well. We usually do. But I hope everybody had a good weekend. If you are in Rumble or YouTube, I will see your chats, respond to you as I can. Just keep in mind I'm running the space and running the stream simultaneously. We don't have a producer, so it takes a little bit of work sometimes to keep it all running smoothly. So if anyone wants to be our producer and they are willing to be paid in high fives, handshakes, and attaboys, let us know. All right, Truth, how you doing?
Not bad.
Not bad, good.
Mm-hmm.
Do anything for
How do you pay in cash?
I pay in doll hairs.
And also not really just...
Someone go find me a Barbie. I'll start cutting off some doll hairs. Hand those out. Hello.
I'm sure your parents have real Barbies.
My parents still have my Barbies.
Yeah.
They're up at the vacation house, but they still exist. I had a fuck ton of Barbies. But what little girl that grew up in the 80s and 90s didn't, right?
Very few didn't.
I did not have My Little Pony or anything like that, but I had Barbies. I had a lot of Barbies. All right.
I had a lot of Beanie Babies growing up.
I had those too. I only have one now. I still have.
I also had Barbies.
Sippy had lots of Barbies.
You know Sippy. Fight to her twins.
Did you also have the Barbies from Clueless? Take that silence as an admission.
I said Truth has Barbies.
No.
Had Barbies.
He probably still has them.
Nah.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah. We were just shooting the shit. Well, we were waiting for you to be done with what you needed to take care of. I know that you just got home, so been a lot to have to do. First coming in the door. Are you good now?
You good, Sippy?
Huh? Hang on.
I'm going to take that as a no.
Hurry it
up. We have American Inquisitor here today. How are you, Inquisitor? Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I'm peaked on what y'all think about these texts that it looks like we're going to be talking about.
We are definitely going to get to the texts because I think that's a hot topic.
They're real.
Absolutely. Are you knocking on wood over there, Truth?
That's the idiot.
Complaining because I denied him speaker?
I'm just kidding, bro.
Probably, yeah.
I like that.
We hear him.
Yes, we can hear him. So I declined his request for speaker. Sorry, it's not happening. Chances were given. Chances were wasted. Chances are gone.
I don't blame you. He's annoying me right now.
Roommates do tend to do that.
Hmm.
I have 2 very small roommates. They also annoy me. Love them to death. But they eat me out of house and home. So
Some start paying their dues.
for anyone that didn't get the joke, I'm talking about my children. If anyone else wants a speaker, wants a microphone, request it. If you are watching on Rumble or YouTube and you want to speak, like actually speak, you can join the X Space. I'll even get a link and drop it in to all of the well, I just had to move my my audio over to the other to the other account on Rumble Studio because it just decided to log me out of Rumble Studio on my other browser. That's fun. Which means we lost our audio. I got it fixed. Gotta get my screen share back up because otherwise you guys are not going to hear anything going on in the space. Didn't want to work for some reason, I guess. As soon as I tried to send a message in the chat, it was just like, nope. Super helpful. There we go. I got it all fixed. Hey, Jason, I'm going to throw you a microphone. Sippy will be back in just a second. All right. I need Sippy to come back, though, because we need to get going.
Sippy, come back.
Sip,
I'm still here. I'm listening to you.
you can blame it all on me. Are you ready to start? Because I think we're going to start with Karmelo Anthony, because I think that's what most people want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how much there is to say about the actual case, right? Because we already went through the trial days in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you want to just recap every fucking thing, and then I don't know if I got enough brain power to do that right now.
No, I think more than anything, people want to hear about outside afterwards, after that decision was made and announced.
Yeah, well, so it was slightly unclear of when we were going to get a decision when court let out that day. We knew it wasn't going to happen Friday, but we didn't know if it was going to happen Saturday, or he technically could have waited till Sunday.
I mean, really could have waited till Monday, couldn't he?
Oh, 12:59 or 11:59 Sunday night was his cutoff, because if the decision wasn't made by the other.
Okay, I thought he had Monday included to make that decision.
I thought so too, but from what I hear, that was not the case.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my original impression. But so he dropped it. I guess, yeah. I was hitting up people that were trying to hang out with me when I was in town, waiting on the things because I couldn't stay in my Airbnb anymore. I'd already checked out, so hanging out, waiting on this damn decision. I was hoping it was going to drop around like lunchtime, and then I was just going to leave after I got saw the reaction, and then I was just going to leave. But that didn't happen. So what was it, like 4:30? I think it was 4:15,
something like that. I mean, I know it's still pretty early here, but I mean, I'm 2 hours behind.
But anyways, so he dropped it, and we closed. Well, we went ahead and left where we were at. Me and Jason. Is Jason in here? I can't. I'm not at
He
my
is.
computer, so I can't see who's in
I
here.
offered him a microphone. He didn't take it. So, Jason, if
What the hell?
you can request a microphone.
No,
as well.
I did.
Oh,
I
he's-
did.
he's in.
I'm here.
Okay. It should.
Oh, look at there.
Oh, now it says speaker because it was still stuck on listener. So.
Hey,
it does that
Jason.
Sometimes.
And you can call truth retarded.
Yes.
By the way.
It's kind of a
That's actually
requirement.
Yeah. It's a
Right.
fucking
I mean-
requirement.
Twin
I mean-
moment.
He blocked me, so he is retarded. But whatever.
There we go. Anyways, so me and Jason were just getting some food and fucking waiting on this decision to drop, and then we saw the decision drop, and we immediately left where we were to go back up to the courthouse. Even though the courthouse was closed, nobody was there. Like no police, no judge, no anybody, because it was closed. It was freaking Saturday. But we decided to go up there. As soon as we pulled up, and we kind of pulled up away from them, like we weren't, but we saw that there, Karmelo supporters had shown up. Like they had actually shown up before we got there. There was only a couple of them, but I was like, they're gonna start funneling in, and they did. But when we pulled up, Jebediah, I'm sure y'all saw, if y'all didn't see that video that I posted, Jebediah, that guy, the one that was basically threatening Jason. Not even basically. He was actually threatening Jason. He hopped in his little Tahoe he was in and literally spun out to drive over to us, even though it would have been quicker for him to walk to us. But he spun out to go, and he literally parked his Tahoe behind both of our vehicles, so we couldn't actually pull out if we wanted to, right? And then he came up, he's like, I want to know your opinion on this or whatever. I mean, I think that was on the video, because he is originally talking to me, and then he's like, who's this guy? And I was like, he's just a buddy. I ain't into telling other people's names, so I was like, he's just a buddy. He's like, what's your name? And he's like, why the fuck you, or what would you say, why the fuck you need to know that, or something like that? That's what it was. Jason.
I asked him, why the fuck do you want to know my... I think is what I asked him.
Yeah. And then dude just fucking started flipping out. Don't cuss at me. You ain't met a real man, or whatever the fuck he was saying. I don't know what the fuck he was saying.
I found it really interesting that he was talking about how in public you have no reasonable expectation of privacy, as if that was a justification for giving your name.
Right?
That was
that means you
weird.
should be
It's not.
recorded. That has nothing to do with you giving your name out.
I think he just wanted my name, and I didn't want to give it to him. I don't give a shit. I honestly, I'd have told him my name if he wasn't being such a dick. But
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Like, but yeah, he didn't like it whenever I said, well, "Why the fuck you want to know my name?" So that's why he did what he did. But what's funny is, how armed I was at the time with my. I don't know. Whatever.
I guess I skipped that part. I guess I skipped that part. We had literally just left the gun range. if that gives y'all any idea, like we had literally just left the gun range.
I mean, not
Yeah.
only that. I mean, he was standing in front of me, but I had brass knuckles in my pocket and a fixed blade knife on my belt and a Glock 43 like right behind me. I mean, I could have just
Yeah. As soon as that death
Speared
threat
him in
came
the-
across. Yeah.
speared him in the throat, shot him, or stabbed him. Especially since he
Yeah,
was
both
saying,
are all three.
what did he say?
I'll show you how self-defense isn't murder.
I'll show you how self-defense is. He basically was inviting me to do it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he
whatever.
said, he was saying that like he was going to defend himself by, because you cussed at him with lethal force. And I'm like, that's not how that works, dude.
Yeah, but that's how these people think, though. Words
Yeah.
are reason for violence, and it's so stupid.
But he finally half-ass calmed down and started talking to his live stream. And then they said they heard a gun. Like, I don't know where they heard that from. It's fucking crazy. I don't know where the hell that. Dude, it pissed him off so much more when you were like, "What are you talking about? Like you heard a gun from way the fuck over there? Like what?" That was funny.
All right. Just for the record, I racked my AK like an obnoxious bastard, and I guess everybody heard it.
Oh hell yeah, it was loud as shit.
60-round magazine, whatever. But I mean, that wasn't the only gun we had on us anyway. It didn't really matter.
No, we had quite a few of them.
In Texas, you should just assume that everybody is armed.
I told that guy that.
Yeah. We were a little bit more armed than the normal Texan, I would think, at that point in time.
Yeah, we had a few. I mean, yeah, we had a couple of different options on us, but yeah, when he was asking us, I wish he would have got that, man. Honestly, that was kind of funny, And he's like, "Whoa, like, well, why you racking a gun?" When I was like, "Well,
I could have sworn I was recording that.
I don't know what you mean. I mean, what are you talking about?
It may
that was like,
it may not have made the clip because of the background noise, and it wasn't. There were like two conversations going on simultaneously. It was very difficult to pull the audio correctly.
Yeah,
Sippy did not make this one easy on me.
No, yeah. Well, it all happened real fast when we pulled up. Honestly, I mean, it happened really fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. I mean, and after they left, I went ahead and put on my body armor because that dude was a little unhinged and I didn't want to get stabbed in the heart. No.
Well, it's funny because, he's saying that he'll show you how self-defense isn't murder when it looked like it was going to be turned into the opposite.
100%, because I also, as he pulled up and I saw he was getting a little overly heated, I went ahead and went over to my passenger side because, I mean, I just got out of my car. So I didn't actually have my gun on my hip because it's uncomfortable as shit to drive with that thing on my hip.
Yeah.
So I just walked to the other side of the car and went ahead and put it on me.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, this clip is like 1 minute and 10 seconds long, I think. Yeah. I pulled this from a 21-minute long video. There was a lot that Sippy sent me, and I had to go through and clip every single piece that I thought was of value. So there may be small pieces lost and all that. But
everybody give Jinx some props for that because she.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. I'm disappointed that you didn't catch me fucking grinning in that guy's face like I was.
I know. I know, but the camera was pointed down and I couldn't really tell, and I had the magnet mount on it and it was just stuck on top of my car. So there
was one point where you had a great zoom in on your crotch though.
Yeah. I'm sure
I mean, for the ladies,
Yeah, there you go. But anyways. So what happened after that? Oh yeah, so they walked up to the courthouse steps and started chanting, and then the wannabe ninjas showed up.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah,
you want to see my face guy?
Yeah. He asked us if we wanted to see his face, and we're like, no, not really. He's like, you've been trying to get a picture of it. I'm like, no, we haven't actually. Like, fuck, if I wanted a picture of your face, I'd walk up to you and pull that shit down and take a picture of your face. Oh, but anyways, so they just kept piling in, and I'm sitting here like, hey, this shit's getting kind of out of hand. Like, there were no cops there at all, and it was getting kind of out of hand because there was a lot more of them than there were of us.
Well, I mean, it was Saturday, so I wouldn't expect there to be cops readily on site.
A few came by, but we were definitely the only two. We were the only two white guys on site. That's for sure.
And every time somebody new would pull up, they would come over again.
I mean, I did see some white
And,
women, like the woman with the monkey in her backpack.
I
Yep,
know
that was Jebediah's monkey.
yeah. That was the fat girlfriend of of Jebediah, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, that's
thanks.
so funny.
I want to give a special thanks to Loki for causing all kinds of drama by saying what you said.
Yeah,
And
I
then
didn't.
they
I
tried
didn't
to
know
say
that.
it was me.
Oh, that was so
Bro.
stupid.
Bro,
I
like,
guess Loki is sippy.
I'm just watching that video now. Like, he was pretty close to whoever was there. Like, that was pretty bold for letting him get that close. I wouldn't even want him that close to me.
That was
He was
awesome.
standing right in my face. I mean, he was standing directly in my face. Well, I mean, what am I going to do? Pull my gun and shoot him? Dude,
Yeah,
I don't want to go to jail. I know the loudest motherfucker is always the least threatening motherfucker. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have a problem people closing the gap like that. You know, like you just give a verbal command, like, bro, don't come any closer. You know, like hands
Yeah.
up. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
no, that happened very, very quickly. I didn't expect him to be that aggressive. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that.
do
Yeah,
you guys
he went a
see
little off
from
the
what
deep end.
you've been experiencing? Do you see like a ratcheting up of tensions more and more in your area since this has happened and in the ensuing months?
No, nah, not in Collin County, not in North Dallas like this. I mean, it's the shit that you see on that video is specific to that video. People don't do that shit, man. Nobody would approach me like that in real life. Like, he was on a TikTok stream. He was trying to create a confrontation. Like, there's no way anybody would ever walk up on me like that in real life. There's no way.
So it was performative. It was just bullshit.
Yeah, he was being that's what he was doing.
Yeah,
He was
it
trying
seemed
to.
like he was. Yeah, it seemed like he was, but then wannabe ninja guy was kind of like stalking us, and I didn't know what he had, but he had something under his shirt, and I didn't know what it was. It didn't look like a gun. It looked like something else. I don't know.
That guy was making me nervous, actually, because
Yeah.
he kept coming like steadily. He'd walk away and he'd come closer, and he'd walk away and he'd come closer, and he'd walk away and he'd come closer, and like he was getting into a range where I don't know what his intentions were. But whenever you were playing the video, or you were playing the music, and then he started like doing the drum beat
Yeah,
and stuff, and like,
yeah.
like that's whenever I realized he wasn't gonna do shit. But no, he was getting way too close, and he was making me a little bit nervous. Like, I kind of wanted to shoot him a couple times.
Yeah, but we know the law, and we know we can't just shoot somebody for looking at us all funky.
No.
Yeah.
Well, super respect to you guys for showing up and reporting for all of us and covering this. I know these people are lunatics, and it's not fun to be around lunatics.
Because I think it would have gone a lot differently had I been there by myself. I think it would have gone a lot differently.
Yeah, man.
Way.
That's my pleasure, getting your back. But I'm not the reporter. I was just there to literally do that. I didn't want you to be up there alone. That was my intention. So.
And I would have been there alone, by the way. Well, I don't know. What's her name? Oh, hey, Ashley. Bring up Ashley. Ashley showed up. Don't say her actual name. I was talking about her handle.
Starts with a T. Anyway.
No, her actual handle. Quit giving away shit.
Truth.
What's up?
I don't know.
So these guys,
the podcast girl.
These guys are looking to take this now to what, the 5th Circuit in Texas. That's their next step.
Hi. Is that Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are trying to appeal it. Yeah. I don't know what they're appealing, but they are trying.
I mean, I'll tell you from Texas' standpoint, it's not going to matter what they do. I've said this from the very beginning. He stabbed a kid in the heart on school grounds in Collin County. He was headed to prison the second that he did that. Like, it was never a question. I mean, there's and if he appealed, I kind of wish he would have got a new trial. I do kind of wish he would have got a new trial because he'd still have to face a Collin County jury, and they'd know everything about him now, and his ass would get life. So I kind of wish he would, but you know what? If he wants, they shipped his ass back to prison for 35 years. That's fine, or 17 till appeal, or till parole hearing. The family's going to show
He's
up.
not getting that parole date, man. After what came out in the last few days, there's no fucking way he's getting that parole date. He's going to do the whole. He's going to max out.
Yeah,
I think.
they can't
sure
use
hope
Fucking
so.
better.
they can't use any of that, the character stuff from the retrial hearing. They can't use any of that in an actual like appeal. They could in a retrial, but they absolutely can at a parole hearing.
Well, they can do that in an appeal too, because the appeal is of the decision of the judge to deny the retrial, so they'll be
Well,
able to bring
There,
up
there,
more
he has an
more
appeal
character stuff.
for his conviction as well.
Yeah, that's what the retrial was.
Hey,
No,
well, let's talk
separate.
about
No,
how
it wasn't.
hilarious it
Never mind.
is. They picked a retired judge from Kaufman County to come over to replace the one from Collin County. That's fucking hilarious. Because, dude, I mean, y'all don't know Kaufman County, but that is a very small, very Republican county. I was hoping they'd pick Grayson actually, but like it's right next door. But when they when they announced who the replacement judge was, like I thought it was going to be Judge Leroy Jenkins from Houston or some shit like that, and when they came back and it was the guy from Kaufman County, I was like, oh damn, like, okay, the guy might just give him life. That didn't go their way at all.
No, I mean they didn't have any justifications for a retrial. Like they didn't meet the requirements for Waller, and they couldn't prove that. They tried to go after the judge, excusing the last of the black jurors, but they specifically said they could not be partial or impartial. It automatically disqualifies you.
Hey, well, let's address that because that was not an all-white jury. That's bullshit.
No, it was not.
Yeah.
There just wasn't any black people.
There was. No, there was a couple. Well, that's because they all, whenever they tried to, when they were talking to him, they were like, could you put this guy in jail? You know how prosecutors or defense attorneys talk to jurors, and they said, well, I can't put it. He looks like a baby, Oh, well, I can't imagine putting a black guy in jail, whatever. If you say some shit like that, you're getting excused from the jury. That's automatic. So yeah, but there were Asians, there were Mexicans. That was not an all-white jury. That's a talking point, and that's bullshit.
Correct.
It was not an all-white jury at all.
But they think a jury of your peers means everybody's supposed to look like the person that's on trial.
Y'all got to let me finish the story of how we de-escalated.
Okay.
Because that was the best part.
No, go ahead.
That's the best freaking part. That's the best freaking part. Because I didn't even realize what I was doing until I did it, and I was like, oh, I get it. Yeah. So they were chanting and everything, and more people were coming in. More people were coming in. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, how many people are going to come in here? And then I was like, oh, it's because they're freaking live, and they're telling people to come in here. Like, okay. So I just start blaring music off my little JBL clip speaker, loud enough that they can hear it on their stream. Well, guess what? If you stream it on TikTok and you have copyrighted music playing, guess what happens? Oh, all their streams went down. It was hilarious.
By the way, that clipped to my truck very well.
It did. But yeah,
what were you playing?
Well, I mean, I started with Tom McDonald, White Boys, and then I think I went into Fafo, and then I don't know. Then I just started playing just generic rock, pretty much. A little bit of Falling in Reverse, But I was just playing shit that would literally get them copywritten.
He was playing shit that was making me nervous, honestly, because he was wearing body armor. I wasn't. So
yeah. Well, sounds like you need to go get some. Anyways. But
I still had the AK. You know.
yeah. It'd have been fine.
Inquisitor has his hand up when you are ready.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
I was just gonna say.
Oh.
I was just gonna say just to just finish it out. So once like all their streams went off, guess what happened? They stopped chanting. They kind of went down to the bottom of the steps, and I think they were basically discussing what can they do because they can't even record because the music's playing too loud, and to get them copywritten if they post it. So basically, I took away the money incentive, and they all just started slowly trickling out. And then at the very end, some guy that wannabe thug or whatever decided he was going to pull up and like angle the car towards us, and I saw Jason like freak out about it, and I was like, I mean, he got out of the car, but that is weird how he just parked. And then as he was taking off, he was one of the last ones to take off, but as he was taking off, he literally turned the tires towards me and punched it. And about that time, I jumped back a little bit and went to draw my pistol, and he turned back. I have that video. I have that on video, so I'll be posting that at some point.
I wouldn't say I freaked out, but I opened the back door.
I know. I saw. Yeah, I saw that you. Yeah, I saw that you know prepared. How about that? Prepared.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough.
Yeah, but I saw him prepare, and I was. I mean, I was already prepared with the biggest gun I had. So, yeah.
I was just wondering if they were going to do something on their way out. Anyway, if the guy wanted to ask a question, let him go ahead.
You had that one that fucking said some shit as he was driving off. What was it? Like I forget what he said.
Fuck around and find out. I think is what he said.
No, that was the guy that tried to run over.
That was the guy.
I'm talking about the other guy that rolled down his window and yelled something out the window as he was driving off.
Yeah. They were doing a lot of shit. I was wondering what they were going to do on the way out.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were just running their fucking mouths is what they were doing.
Yeah. Inquisitor.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was listening to a couple of lawyers talk about the extra evidence that came out, and they were walking us through Texas penal codes that they have a case, and they both expected that there will likely be charges brought for terroristic threats and stalking, which are both felonies in Texas.
They are.
That's awesome. They're going to bring more charges against them.
Hopefully, but I doubt. I don't know. They might, but it'll be later on down the road.
None of that's going to be public or whatever. Like if they do that, it's just going to be just tacking shit onto his current sentence. But bottom line, he got shipped back to prison, which is what I expected to happen in the first place. I said that on the first day of the appeal hearing. I said I expect them to deny that and ship his ass right back to prison. That's where he went. So that's good. But he should get more than 35 years. I mean, stab that fucking kid in the heart, dude. I mean, come on. Like you can't do that.
I think he got off easy.
He got off super easy because I mean, what in 17 years he gets, and you know what that family can show up every time he gets a parole hearing, and they can testify and say, no, we don't want him to, no, fuck that, like we don't want him out, walking the streets, but it's George Carlin thing, but They can do that every time his parole comes up. I hope he does the full 35. I really hope he does, but I wish he'd have got 99 years. I really wish he would have because he deserved it.
Absolutely.
Well, maybe he won't make it home. A lot of people don't make it home from prison. So I think he should be.
Yeah.
I think he should be swinging.
Quit that. Anyways, you're already, the tension's already high enough. Quit it. Anyway,
Yeah, look, you see there, Sippy.
Considering that he, his acts of violence started when he was 6, he doesn't exactly have a good track record.
Well, I'm not going to hold anything. I'm not going to hold anything against anybody before they were 10 or whatever, But regardless,
like killing small puppies and shit. might
Well,
hold
yeah.
that
Well,
against him.
I could hold that against him. I didn't see any of that, but
No, I'm just saying that's like this telltale sign of a psychopath. So.
Yep, bedwetting, lighting fires, and torturing small animals.
yeah. And you know what? Well, whatever. Like, I'm glad his ass went straight back to prison. But what pisses me off is he didn't go to the worst of. I don't know if y'all know about Texas, but there are some really bad prisons, like the Allred unit in this area. That's about 3 hours from here. There's a few like max securities, and he didn't get one of those. He got one of the ones with air conditioning, I think, which pisses me off.
So I do have a theory, though. I think with his little "you better not disrespect me" attitude, I think he's going to add on to his fucking sentence in prison. He's going to get in so much trouble, he's going to end up adding on to his sentence.
Dude, he ain't gonna act like that in prison. Get the fuck out of here. The guy was raised in Frisco, Texas. This guy is not a gangster, dude. Get out of here. Like he's
no. I'm not saying he's a gangster. I'm not saying he's a gangster. What I'm saying is he's going to have to get in with a gang. He's going to have to if he wants to survive.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to basically make him do it, and then he's going to be stuck in there longer.
Yeah. No, there's a really good chance that he has to do some crazy shit and he may do life. He may. I don't know. Yeah. But he should have been given the 99 years. That's what he should have got, because you don't show up to a school event and stab somebody in the heart. Like not here, dude. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm from Collin. I'm not from Collin County. I live in Collin County. I have for a long time. You don't do that shit around here. You don't. That shit don't fly.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine he's going to have to trade some pretty big favors for protection while he's in there.
Like his ass.
Well, especially since he's not gonna, a different judge that gave him appeal. That's what's cool, actually, is a different judge completely denied his appeal. They can't say that the original judge was biased or anything. They just have to accept that any judge is going to say that shit, unless you call.
They're still going to call bias because the new judge is also white.
Judge.
Hang on one sec.
Well,
I've been hearing that all weekend.
They're always going to.
He was racist too, and he's a white supremacist. Yep. He's part of the good old boys.
Hang on one second. Anyways, I want to address in chat where you said he wasn't from Frisco. His parents moved from Shreveport. They moved from Baton Rouge, Renee. But yeah. All right.
I don't know how old he was whenever that happened, but the schools he was going to. But you know what? This isn't the first incident with this guy. Like he was, like you could see it on the local news. He's he's been in trouble for fucking having a knife at school, for threatening people. I threatened his girlfriend, apparently. You see all the text messages and stuff like that. But this is not an innocent kid that they got railroaded. This is a fucking little piece of shit that just stabbed somebody, dude. He deserves everything he got.
He's
much
a menace,
more, actually.
Menace to society. That's what he is.
Yeah, well, he's not anymore, but he should be. But if it was California or New York or something like that, maybe he might get away with it. But not here. There's no way. Like, that is not going to fly. I don't care if you're white, black, Mexican. If you came in on a spaceship, dude, if you stab somebody in the heart at a track meet, you're going to prison. I've said that since the very beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, obviously Austin Metcalf didn't have the greatest track record of good behavior, but it looks like he had turned his life around after making dumb mistakes when he was younger. But
everything they had on him was when he was very young. Mm-hmm. And him his brother spray paint some stupid shit on a wall or something? Maybe they did. And maybe he pushed a girl down whenever he was whatever
11,
age.
11. He was 11.
11 years old, which shouldn't even be on record. But I mean, none of this shit. Like, raises to the point where he deserves to be stabbed in the goddamn heart. Like that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Correct.
The arguments that they're making for this is, I mean, it's ludicrous. You can't make an argument like that.
I agree with you completely. But yeah, I mean, being in trouble when you're younger, you know, up to like what, like the last big thing for him was like when he was like, right? And so, you know, he wasn't getting in trouble anymore. You know, he was a teenager. He still had some attitude. Every teenager does, right? Especially teenage boys. But one, it definitely does not justify what happened to him. But two, you know, he clearly had turned things around, and Karmelo was still going down the same rotten path. He hadn't, you know, he missed the turnoff to turn things around.
Well, let's also address the fact that you know, the majority of the people that testified against him were the teammates of Austin Metcalf. They were black.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this was not a racial issue to start with. This was never a race thing. That guy showed up and he wanted to kill somebody. It didn't matter if he was white, black, Mexican, or Asian. The guy didn't care who he killed. He was in a bad fucking mood and he wanted to stab somebody, and you know, that's what happened. But the majority of the people that testified against him were black.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the assistant principal that didn't report what the girlfriend reported her, I think she should be held accountable too.
Yeah.
Well,
Because that was the
that's
morning
something
of.
that's something a guy from Florida that was visiting. I had a conversation with a guy from Florida at the courthouse. The first time I met you, Sippy, actually. But I went over and I had a conversation with the guy, and the main point he was making was that you know, an adult could have stopped that shit. You know, like right there, like that. It never would have happened if the coach was standing right there. And I mean, I honestly, I can't really argue with that. Like, there should have been an adult there. They should have kicked that kid out. You know, being there, and he probably wouldn't have done that if there was an authority figure there. But that doesn't excuse anything that he did. Like, I don't know, but I do think that there should have been adults on scene stopping shit like that from happening. I do believe that. I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, do you know what I was talking about on the assistant principal thing? Like the actual details of what I was talking about?
I don't know.
I might need to explain it for the people that weren't watching or that hadn't
Explain
watched.
it.
So the girlfriend
Oh
contacted
no,
the
yeah,
assistant
no,
principal.
I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm
but
just
yeah,
doing
go
it.
ahead.
I'm
But
just
go
doing
ahead.
it for the
But go ahead.
stream right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, just doing it for the stream. But so the girlfriend contacted the assistant principal, said she was worried about Mello because he was, you know, stalking her, and she thought he was going to do something, and the assistant principal didn't even report it to anybody. She's supposed to have a duty to report.
Teachers are indeed all school staff, whether they are a teacher, a janitor, it doesn't matter. They are mandatory reporters in every single state.
Yeah.
Now, what was
No,
that? What was the timeline like? When was that reported, and then when did the
That was
stabbing
the
happen?
morning of. That was the morning of.
dude, it was an hour. It was an hour
Yeah.
before he got. It was an hour
Wow.
before he stabbed him.
He could
Yeah.
have saved his life potentially.
Well, it was a
Yeah.
woman, but yeah, she could have.
Yeah, no, yeah, that is correct. The girl was saying that you know, that she was saying, you know, that he was threatening her or whatever, like saying that, you know, he's on the verge or whatever. That was an hour before
I'm
that kid got stabbed.
low key on the verge. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she reported it to the assistant principal. Assistant principal didn't report it to anybody.
Well, but nonetheless, what I was saying is, like, where was the coach in that? You
Well,
know,
he was running the track meet, so
I don't
he had
know.
asked
You know,
he had asked Austin and Hunter to step up and run their tent because he was going to be going running the track meet.
right. Regardless, there should have been an adult on site. Like, I can agree with that, but yeah, I mean, a bunch of things happened, And nothing like that should happen at a track meet. Like, first of all, their weapons are not allowed on school grounds like that. Like, I mean, it's just not something that, I don't know. He came up there with an intention, and that's what he did. He came up there with the intention to fucking kill somebody, and that's what he did. So, I mean, he deserved life.
The
Or no,
sickest is that he memorialized it in a text message. I mean, he literally says he's going to go off low key. He's on the verge, and then he says he wants to stab somebody and lick the blood off the knife. I mean,
Right,
you
so
want to talk about
that's a-
mens rea?
Now that's a little timelines off. So that licking the blood off was in October 2024. So
Oh, I thought it was that
it's-
same day.
No.
Okay.
no.
and nonetheless,
just-
he said it.
Yeah, it was to show a pattern of him wanting to stab somebody, basically.
Hey, yeah, along with the I'm gonna shoot somebody, the whole fucking, the drive-by thing and everything. Yeah, no, everything alluding to it. Just makes him more and more and more and more guilty. I don't know. And anything anybody says about the other side is fine, whatever. Oh, well, this kid did this. Oh, well, he was a racist. Oh, he say this, that. That kid didn't even, dude, Carmelo didn't even know that. He stabbed that kid unknowingly. Like, he didn't know that Austin Metcalf got in trouble for spray painting something on a wall or something like that. That had nothing to do with it. He went up there that day. He was in a bad mood and he wanted to stab somebody, and that's what he did. And that's the point of it right there. So,
I mean,
did he deserve life? Did he deserve death? He deserved death. But luckily for him, in the state of Texas, or I guess it's federal.
Well, that's at federal, yeah. 17.
Yeah, it's Roper v. Simmons from a gift given us by Ruth Bader Ginsburg and her ilk. It overturned Stanford v. Kentucky, which allowed minors to be executed, and that happened in 2005. And
yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah, well, he deserved it all the way. Like he deserved the full ride, dude. Like, I mean, he deserved the death penalty. Dealer's choice. I don't care. Noose, fucking electric chair, whatever you want. Firing squad. I don't care. Take him out behind the barn and put one in the back of his head. That's what he deserved. But that's not what he got, and that's not what he's gonna get. But he did deserve life. I almost wish they would have got the new trial just to get him 99 years or something like that. I kind of wish that.
I wonder why the jury came up with 35.
I said that from the beginning. I said he was going to get 30 years because he's because of his age. That's it right there. It's because of his age. He did that whenever he was under 18.
I actually think the jury did something a little bit more morbid. They gave him the double the amount of time that his victim was owed. Yeah. Austin was 17 and a half when he got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I didn't even think about that. But nonetheless, Austin didn't get 1 minute after that dude stabbed him in the heart. He didn't get anything.
Did he go to separate schools?
No, that guy was not. He didn't go to his school.
Yeah, one of them was Centennial. Yeah, there was two different. There were two different.
Yeah,
schools. That was the problem in the first place. That's why he was confronted, because he was in the wrong tent.
So yeah, Karmelo would have known Austin had racist past in the first place. That wouldn't matter. Like I said earlier.
Anybody that knows anything about track meets, because I used to do track, you do not go in another team's tent.
No,
that's a good way to get your ass whooped.
That's basically all sporting events. You don't go sit on the other team's bench during a football game.
I mean, you're already hyped up to beat the other team. I don't know.
I mean,
so
you do
socialize. Trespassing.
Yeah, basically, but you do socialize with other teams, but you don't do it in their team's area. You do it away, because in their team's area, you've got. So what you do is, your event gets called up. You jump up, normally, like if it's cold, you'll take off your like wind pants or whatever the hell you got on to, go run your event or whatever. And you'll leave your phone, you'll leave your everything right there at the tent. And then that's how you know shit ain't going to get stolen. Or if it does, it was somebody at your own school, because you don't go in anybody else's tent.
That's correct.
Yep. Also why you get your ass whooped if you go in somebody else's tent, because they're assuming you're trying to steal something.
But did anybody see? I don't know if I know you did, Sippy. But like the argument that the defense made that he tripped, fell on the knife or whatever like that.
Yeah. Well, they were saying that there's nothing saying he didn't fall on the knife.
Yeah. So ridiculous. I don't know. That kid he went up there with murderous intent, and I mean, honestly, he should have got the full ride, dude. He should have got life. He should have got 99 years or whatever they like the max that they could have sentenced him to. But I knew from the beginning, because of his age and because of the situation and because of the racial bias, he was going to get around 30 years. That's what I said. Like you can go back, go to my profile and look at what I said from the very beginning. I said he was going to get 30 years. He got 35, which, okay, that's a little bit better. But, I mean, I think he should have got life. I don't think he should ever walk free again for what he did.
I think that he would have gotten more time if it wasn't for the gentleman's agreement to not bring character background into it, because I think that would have changed things completely.
I also have a theory. Right. I also have a theory on that, on why they did it, which I did say in the video. I don't know if that got caught on video or that's in one of the clips. But my theory on that is that Hunter was a lot of that character evidence against Austin. Basically trying to make them, they look alike, so they must be alike, And a lot of times they would, act alike. But I think the gentleman's agreement was to protect Hunter, because he's still living and he's already getting death threats. He doesn't need any more. And that stuff coming out, I'm sure it just made his death threats go like through the roof.
His family's they've gotten it bad around here.
Well,
I've seen it on the local
when we were
news.
Doing the interview with, when we were doing the interview with Jeff like literally got a death threat text message while I was standing in his living room right next to him, and he showed it to me.
And why are you threatening the guy that got his son killed? Like his son got killed, and you're threatening his life. Like these fucking people are really out of their minds. I don't know.
Yep. Let's see. So we are going to hopefully cover the Tyler. That happens.
You cut out a little bit there, Sippy. Your volume went out for a moment.
Cut out. Anyways, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Don't eat the microphone.
So we're hopefully going to cover the Tyler Robinson thing coming up, right? Like on the ground coverage of it.
Both of us this time.
Yep. Team effort.
You guys are going to Utah?
Well, that's the hope.
Yeah, we don't have a date yet, so
yeah. But that's one of the main reasons we're about to go into that. I mean, that's our next topic is the Charlie Kirk text, but it really has a lot to do with the Tyler Robinson case. So was that September 10th, right? Is when we'll have an answer on when that is?
Well, September 1st is the hearing, final hearing.
And then by the 10th, we should have an answer, right?
We'll know whether it's going to trial. I don't know if we'll have a trial date.
Okay.
Probably have an arraignment date and then a trial date probably after the arraignment. So it might be a little bit
You don't
longer.
think? I feel like they should like arraign him like right off the bat. Like what the hell?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
It's a weird process they have there.
That's a whole different can of worms there. Anyway, he admitted to it anyway, though.
I know.
Repeatedly.
But they're still gonna have to go through the court because I don't think the prosecutor's gonna take death penalty off the table. So
no.
Well, how has he not been indicted yet? I mean, the grand jury didn't see it. I haven't filed the case.
It's not a grand jury; it's a preliminary hearing for probable cause. Yep. So that's what's finishing right now. So it started in June, right? Was it?
Yeah.
And so, or maybe it was July. It was July. Started in July.
Well, either way it goes, they're the slowest processing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. They had multiple weeks to allow for written arguments to come after evidence that was shown in the courtroom. And then they still have to do closing arguments. That's on September 1st. And then the judge has until September 10th to decide if probable cause exists for it to go to trial. That's when the arraignment will happen.
It pisses me off. It's the day after my birthday, but the soft tip, like I've seen videos lately or whatever that they're like, oh well, this goes through this, like this went through 15 stop signs or whatever, but they're firing a Full Metal Jacket versus like the core lock that they're saying that he was shot with, which is not the same thing. I'm not saying I know anything. Like I follow this stuff local. Like I know the Carmelo Anthony thing because it's local. I heard about it from the very beginning. But as far as the Charlie Kirk, God, other than the fact that he got martyred in front of the entire world, and then the left just jumped up and fucking celebrated, which was awful. I don't know, but it's definitely different between a core lock, a soft tipped rifle round, and a Full Metal Jacket. Like a Full Metal Jacket will go through a brick wall, and a
hold
core
on,
lock
hold on. The bullet, it doesn't even matter the kind of bullet. If they pulled just FMJs from him, bullets just do dumb shit. Go and watch the interviews with Chuck Ritter, because he talks about the round that hit him 7.62 by 54 that did not exit his body, and it was a Full Metal Jacket that went in and lodged itself just in soft flesh. And he's talking
round.
Yeah. And he talks about shooting multiple people at closer range in the throat and seeing people get shot and the bullet not exiting with Full Metal Jacket. So
it happens.
Yeah, these people that are like, it's impossible, it would have decapitated him, it's like firing a cannon. Don't listen to those people about gun shit.
No, even a Full Metal Jacket, it's possible, but with a core lock, it's different. I mean, that's something you shoot a deer with, I mean,
I don't know.
It is different.
It is different. It's meant to release the force into the thing instead of putting a hole in it. But
Jason, what you're saying is correct, but you can take a 5.56 and shoot.
Oh, we lost Doc.
No, we didn't.
Oh,
I was talking.
The space mute thing didn't show up.
Anyways, so I don't even know what the hell I was saying because I got interrupted. But anyways, continue, I guess.
Okay, can I continue now? I don't want to interrupt you, brother. I don't.
Yeah, continue.
Okay, but if you take a 5.56 and you shoot it and it hits a palm leaf or a blade of grass, it starts tumbling. That's what bullets do. Okay, so they might hit your sternum, or if you're aiming at the sternum with a 5.56 in an AR, and it hits and you were aiming at the sternum, but it hit a palm leaf, it might hit your thigh. And everybody that I hear talking about all this dumb shit about what a bullet does when it strikes somebody, it's individual to the strike. It's always been individual to the strike. So I'm sorry, Sippy. I did not mean to step on your thunder. I did not mean to do that because I love you, brother. I do.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
get it.
to your point,
Okay.
right? Like when the bullet comes out, right? It's got a different type of velocity than what 200, 300 feet from when it first exited, and so it's. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's not uniform throughout. As it's continuing to move forward, it's losing velocity. Correct. So
Bullets always lose velocity, and that's why. Because when I started in law enforcement, I carried a 45. And
Can I
here's the
interrupt
thing,
you real
guys.
quick? Can I
But
interrupt
here's
you real
the thing,
quick?
guys. If you carry a 45, if you're shooting 20 yards at a target, you're aiming at the bridge of your nose, the bridge of that target's nose, to hit center mass. Okay, we called a 45 ACP a flying brick. That's what we call it. That's what it is.
Let me interrupt because we got to get back on subject because we're not here to talk about the actual assassination. We're here to talk about the text messages that were just released. Like the actual proof where, in the Andrew Wilson, Candace Owens debate that he brought it up, but he said he was going to trickle it out or drip it out. I don't remember
Drip,
exactly
drip,
what he
drip.
said. Drip.
That's what she said.
Tell him he might want to get some like penicillin to take care of that. But anywho, there we go. Now we got the text messages up on the screen on the stream, and she is also sharing it to the Jumbo for anybody that wants to see what we're talking about.
Sippy, I don't want to interrupt you. I don't, but I was just trying to extrapolate on what was said prior to me jumping in, and that's all I was trying to do, brother.
Oh, I know. I was just trying to get us back on subject because we actually have a subject to. We're running this on YouTube, Rumble. Looks like just YouTube and Rumble today, are we? No, we got it on Twitch. We just don't have anybody on Twitch, and
we never do.
X never gives us a number anyway. So
it's the rest of the number.
Yeah, it's
for the total.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, we put out a topic, and I mean that's why people are coming in, and like I said, we're streaming it. It's just kind of like a open podcast, so like anybody that wants to come and talk can come and talk, right? But we still need to kind of keep it on subject,
No, sir, and I agree, and I'm backing out now. I'm just going to mute my mic and just stay silent.
Anywho, Jinx, would you do us the pleasure, please, ma'am, because I cannot read that.
Yeah, so I actually watched Andrew's live stream yesterday when he was talking about all of this. So these messages are from September 9th. He said they were from Signal, if I remember correctly. There's redactions, so we don't know who it's from. One of the things that's been brought up to try to like debunk these texts is because it says waiting for network up at the top. As you can see, it's in airplane mode. Right up here, airplane mode. So, of course, you're not going to have a network to connect to when you're in airplane mode and you're not connected to Wi-Fi. So that's why it's waiting for network. So Charlie is the purple on the right, and then the like navy bluish color is the person that he's talking to. I'm gonna guess that it's Harple or Flood would be my guess. But yeah, they're talking about UVU. So Charlie asked, what's the lay of the land? And the response is law enforcement has been fully supportive and has agreed to, this is toy, autocorrect doesn't always work, right? Security plan and posture. Tomorrow's event will be covered by both my team and Campus PD. If additional support is required, patrol units will be available. He says, I have 11 on site. And he's replying to a post that says, thank you. The threats are higher than ever. How? And then it's cut off, so we can't see all of that. So Charlie says, okay, great. Delicately remind them they are there for one person security only. I'm somewhat worried about the left trying to kill me. And the guy responds to him, just so you're aware, I'll be strict with allowing people in our bubble. I can't have distractions in there. As I spoke of earlier, we are here for one priority. And then he replied to the, that he's worried. He said, I've got you. I'll do all in my power to make that extremely difficult. Okay. So there is a zoom in as well. Andrew
I'm
did
sorry,
zoom in
I
on
would
it.
not trust that guy's power.
Not after that.
Ever.
Same.
No. Yeah, because it wasn't very difficult.
Yeah. So then there's just zoom ins of the images. So it's a cropped image. It was a picture taken with a phone of a phone. So you can see that the phone's like on a table. So that's the text that or we call it a text because I mean it's not on iMessage, right? That's definitely not iMessage. But so there, that's it. It's real, and of course the moment you say that it's real, the Candace cultists are like jumping down your throat, trying to debunk it and things like that. There's a supposed quote unquote insider that used to work for TPUSA that says that they're not real. I don't know how they would know if they were real or not, but it's like an unnamed insider, right? Andrew has said that he has more that he's going to be releasing. He's taking a couple days off. He does have some big events coming up, and he's just recently done a bunch of big events. So he is going to be releasing more information that is going to essentially debunk everything that Candace has tried to put forward, including Fort Hoochie Coochie. That's what I call it because I think it's funny. Fort Hashuka. I do actually know how to pronounce it, but it's Hoochie Coochie.
Because fucking because Jinx is
because it's funny.
Does dad jokes, but she's not a dad.
Yeah, they're mom jokes.
Well, that we know of, anyways. She could be dad.
No.
Sure.
No. I grew both of my children in my belly. So yeah, so there's gonna be more coming out, and they're just gonna debunk the shit out of everything. It's gonna be so glorious to watch. I watch all of Andrew's streams, so I will definitely be like sharing information out as I get it. So that because I know not everybody watches Andrew. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
And who? Oh. Bad dad joke.
That was a really bad one.
I thought it was a good one.
No, it was terrible.
Oh, that was good.
So I kind of want to know what you guys think. What kind of stuff do you think there is to debunk this stuff?
Oh, can I stop just real quick?
Yeah.
Anybody on the stream or is watching the stream and you actually want to talk on the stream, just come to X, join the space. If you don't have an X account, well, sorry, you're probably
Get one.
Just saying.
I'll send the link again into all of the stream chats. Anyone that wants to join us.
Also, if you just want to ask questions, we're watching this stream chat. So.
Yep.
I watched his stream last night as well, and he went pretty hard into Stu Peters and looking at the other Crucible tweets and stuff. I expect that, like you said, his next thing is going to be disproving all of the covert spy op meetings at Fort Huachuca, and that will be fantastic because they all Candace and Stu and Baron Coleman and all of them camped that a lot.
Also, I want to play devil's advocate here with those texts. Not saying I believe this, but what a Candace Cole member would say. How could they prove, other than trusting Andrew, those texts came from Charlie? Did it say his name anywhere?
I mean, it came directly from Erica Kirk because Andrew was recently at TPUSA. Like, he does actually know the people there. All the people in the Candace cult talk about how, now Andrew's finally going to get famous because he debated Candace Owens. He didn't need that. He's a regular on Piers Morgan. He's he's
Yeah.
not some
regular on Joe Rogan,
yeah,
basically.
he was on he and his wife have both been on Joe Rogan. Like, he's not some no-name guy. Just because they didn't know who he was doesn't mean he doesn't exist. There are plenty of people
If I'm
out
being
there
honest,
that have no idea who the fuck Candace Owens is.
if I'm being honest, I had no idea who he was when Jinx first brought it up. I'm like, who? Yeah.
Also, same.
I mean,
I'd heard of him, but not real much.
yeah. So Baron Coleman is one of the big people pushing out the bullshit on behalf of Candace, essentially. And so Crucible Updates, which is the official X account for the Crucible as a whole, not Andrew's personal account. And he said, "Want to know what Charlie was saying about Candace? Turns out there may be something coming in one of the future drops. Stay tuned." And Baron Coleman quote posted, said, "The options here are to A, let Charlie rest in peace, or B, make him out to be a massive liar and hypocrite by releasing messages, whether real or fake, that contradict his public statements and positions. G, tough call." And Crucible Updates appropriately is that it sounds like somebody is really fucking scared. It does. It sounds like he's terrified that the truth is going to come out, that they've been faking all this bullshit. So you either let Charlie rest in peace or make him out to be a massive liar and hypocrite. Why haven't they just been letting him rest in peace? Why did they have to do this? The whole reason this shit is happening is because of Candace Owens and her fucking band of retards coming up with every single conspiracy under the sun, short of it was fucking aliens.
See, I'm not even the one that's cussing a lot.
I'll give Baron a little bit of grace here. I've watched some of his stuff ever since he started fighting with the Crucible and with Viva Frey, who I really like. And I think he is worried that he didn't check anything that Candace was saying. Going back through like his clips and everything, he's just coattailing on. He has just been coattailing on the stuff that she's been putting out, taking it as gospel. I think if he is afraid, that is why, because he's regretting not actually like vetting it and just trusting her completely.
So could he be sued too by Erica?
Absolutely.
Like, probably will be.
I don't know the law enough to know that one. I'll trust Jinx and Sip to be able to answer that.
Yeah, I mean, it's defamation. Because he's been making plenty of his own statements on his show and on his X posts and all that kind of stuff. He's not just reposting other people's things. He's putting his own input into it. And so yeah, if he's made defamatory statements about Erica Kirk, TPUSA, anything like that, he can absolutely be sued. Gammy, you got your hand up.
Well, can I say one thing?
Real quick, Truth, yeah.
Didn't Candace say she wanted to destroy TPUSA recently?
Yes. That was from Andrew's when he was on the Charlie Kirk show the other day. Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff released information that like within like a week of Charlie dying, she basically said if the right people aren't put in charge, that she's going to burn TPUSA to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead, Gammy.
Well, I raised my hand a while back when you were talking about how long this trial's taking or to get to trial. And I don't know, y'all have to think back in the day and be older. But if you remember the Elizabeth Smart case that happened back in Utah in the early 2000s, it took over 5 years from the date of that gentleman's arrest for her kidnapping and sexual assault to the time he began his trial because of how Utah laws were. And now, because of how long that took, that's why they have this victim impact and victim, you need to speed up this stuff that Erica Kirk is pushing so much for. So she has a right to push for that as hard as she can to get all this, because Utah laws are so, oh, we'll get to it someday type thing. You know, that's how it used to be. It took forever for anything to happen. So, the fact that he might get charged within a year is basically in my opinion, pretty close to freaking miracle.
Yeah, I mean, the decision on whether or not it goes to trial is due on a year to the day. So,
They could also be doing what Collin County was trying to do with the Karmelo. They were trying to delay it enough that the public outcry would die down, but it wasn't dying down because social media influenced it.
and
So
that's
they were
exactly
trying
what's
to get the
happening here.
threat. They were trying to wait on the threat level to go down, and it wasn't. It was going up. So then they finally just kind of, went with it. But I think Utah's finding that out right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
way social media and everything is now, you just there's nothing you can do to calm it down except here are all of the facts. Everybody look at it, you know.
Yeah, but you
And
can't do that. You can't do that before the trial because, you know, jury
yeah,
pool and all.
well, and the way that the defense was pulling out all of the stops before they even had the preliminary hearing, like they wanted to delay because of this and do this and kick off this guy because his daughter went to the school and all this, just all these little shenanigans. I mean, they should have had the preliminary and then you can pull out all the, oh, he can't be in the trial because of this. But they were doing all the, basically all the stuff that was between injunction or not injunction, but from the preliminary hearing to the trial date, they were pulling out all of that crap before the preliminary. And I think the judge, just to be sure he can't be overturned later on down the road, took the time to do this the way he did. I'm really not going to fault the judge because I don't know all the laws. Am I a lawyer? No. I just I think he went just a little extra on, okay, I'm going to listen to your arguments and I'm going to rule on them based on the law, even though you're like 5 steps ahead and too early. But then that way they can't go back and appeal on that basis. Because sorry, you can't appeal on that. So I'm hoping that's what it is because I think it is just they're just dragging it out too long and it's causing too much pain to the family.
All right. Well, I can attest to the Carmelo Anthony situation because it's local. That's the only reason that I even have any insight into the situation. The Charlie Kirk thing, other than the fact that I mean, I could speculate all day long, but I don't have anything to add to that. So as far as that goes, I mean, I got to get up and go to work early tomorrow. So I mean, I'm gonna have to get up out of here. So I appreciate everybody.
No worries, Jason. Thank you so much
Appreciate
for
you
coming.
coming up.
Have a good night, man.
Thanks. Good night.
All right, y'all take it easy.
Yeah, I mean, I am hoping that they don't delay trial. It really needs to happen like as soon as possible. They've got all the evidence, they've got confessions. There's no real reason to delay in my opinion. So, like I think we just need to get it done so that all of this can stop. I'm so tired of people that are supposed to be on the right acting like a bunch of leftists. And then as soon as you don't agree with whatever their conspiracy theory is that they've gotten from Candace, they call you bots or you're Zionist
You're a
or,
Jew.
some other, playground bully tactic because they can't actually argue for their side on their viewpoint without having like Candace's words in their mouths. They can't do it themselves because they can't think for themselves. Like the parking garage footage. It's they like, oh, it was compressed video, so we decompressed it. And so look, that doesn't look anything like Tyler Robinson. But if you look at the whole image, and actually I think Crucible Updates did that too. Look at the whole image. See if I can find it. Put it up in stream and also put it up in the jumbo. It wasn't that long ago. Oh, here it is. So if you look at it, it should be up in the jumbo in a moment. It can take a little bit longer. So, but they stretched out because like the cars looked like clown cars. But has anyone ever gone through a parking garage where it's that wide between the cars?
Not really, no.
I mean, my husband and I did some calculations for fun. So we took the length of a Jeep. That's a Jeep Gladiator, so that's a truck. Okay, and we used that to measure across. Like the distance is like 81 feet. By the way, that's a lot of distance between parking. Parking.
I'm muted this whole time as I'm telling you. It's a fisheye camera.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
Candace's retards don't.
Yeah, because they're retarded.
That's why this is curved here, is because the lens is curved. That's why everything looks funky. In a fisheye lens, things in the center look the most normal. And then...
Kinda. It's like a globe.
I said the most
literally
normal.
Like I know.
They still don't look
it's like
normal.
a globe. You know, like Greenland is not actually that fucking big. But it's just how it works. Like with the curvature of the Earth. I see Mindy has her hand up. Give her a chance to.
Yeah.
Hi, Sippy Cup and Jinx.
Hello.
Big fans of yous and Sarah's, and I agree with everyone that's on the panel as far as what the Charlie Kirk case. I have been following it. I also am been talking to a defense lawyer who is out of California who's been following the case as well. And I've listened to several other podcasts and things like that, and I follow stuff on X. So my thought process, I've also been through court proceedings as well. I was a victim. So I kind of know how some court cases and stuff follow through, but it is the defense's right to subjectively go through the evidence to process to try to eliminate or suppress evidence during the process of before they get to a prelim. Do I agree that it took too long? Hands down, it took too long. Like, we shouldn't have been in here. I think they were definitely utilizing stall tactics. But it was their job to try to find some of the evidence to try to suppress some of it before they got there. So that's why we had a lot of evidentiary hearings in the beginning and processing stuff like that. Now, after the prelim, getting into now the briefings and looking at all of that has just been mind-blowing. The state's final response back, and I watched, his name's Robert Guvea, Gouvei.
He's awesome.
Yes.
He's awesome.
It was on but someone else, I don't know if he was podcasting it, but I actually reposted it and like, this is fabulous. People got to watch it because he broke down the state's last response back to the defense's arguments and things like that, as far as like there being possible ethics violations that were done by the defense. One thing that he went through and noticed by the defense was there was a case law that they had used from Utah that was in 2010, but it was overturned by the Utah Supreme Court in 2015. So that case law was no longer relevant to what they were trying to cite. So at no point is the defense basically is conceding that that the evidence is there. They're not conceding the evidence because you see in the state's response back that they even said that in the very first paragraph. What they're trying to do right now is get him off the death penalty. And it was plainly clear that that's what their tactics are, because of what they tried the last two times of requesting that the death penalty be removed. So I feel like at this point, they're just trying to get him off. the death penalty. They factually have agreed that the evidence is there and substantial, but the fact that they committed there was other ethical violations. If anyone goes through and reads that, definitely look at Robert's video as he breaks it down, because he really tries to break it down to where you can kind of make sense of it. But it was really clear that I think going into the September 1st hearing, when they start doing those briefings, the defense is going to get slammed. And I'm curious to see what the judge's response is going to be back, because there was another case law that they used that wasn't very relevant to the case. And the state, made an argument for that. Now, going back to the defense lawyer that I've been listening to, his name is, he goes by Whole Truth 12 on YouTube. He is on X, but he's under like a different handle number. But he says out of the 7 charges that the defense is arguing that he thinks he might be able to get that one dropped is the charge 6, which was the witness tampering of him telling Lance Twiggs to not basically get a lawyer. Of course, that's everybody's constitutional right to have a lawyer. But the state's argument in the briefing back specified that he said that after he told Lance to destroy evidence.
Yeah,
And
isn't the
I think
destruction of evidence charge 5?
it's one of those. I can't remember which one it was. One of the no, yeah, it's 5. Yeah, it's charge 5. So, and they cited a case law in that, I think. And when Robert was going over that, it just made it very clear that his name's Gil on Whole Truth. He thinks they're going to get it dropped. I think they made a great argument to why they shouldn't drop it. But I'm still on the fence. I still could believe they could drop it, but I'm still on the fence that, the state made a really good argument as to why they shouldn't, because he told him to destroy evidence and then told him to get a lawyer.
Yeah, see,
So,
I think that 6 likely will get dropped because charge 5 is the destruction of evidence. Charge 6 is not.
Yeah.
So I don't think that argument from the state holds for getting charge 6 dismissed.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of like 50-50. Like, I could see them dismissing it, but I could kind of see the state's argument on it, because everybody has a constitutional right to tell someone, hey, you need to get a lawyer. Like, that's just fact. And then he was also saying, yeah, he was 50-50 on count 7, on the charge 7. So, but he said it just is. He said he could see it there, but because I think that's the other one that the defense is trying to get thrown out.
Yeah.
Which to me, it doesn't make a difference whether they throw those 2 out. The more aggravating charge is the aggravated murder one. So he's going to go away for whether he does life or he gets the death penalty.
Yeah.
So he's going to have years after that. But Gil made a really good point and Andrea Burkhart, if anybody watches her, God love her. She's another defense lawyer, amazing. She has said that she could see the trial, possibly within a year to year and a half. Gil says possibly 2. So we'll just take it as a split, possibly a year and a half, because he mentioned that the state has to exhaust all their avenues of evidence suppression, of trying to get stuff thrown out before they can even come to the table to possibly get a plea deal. Gil, obviously, he believes as a defense lawyer, he's going to take a plea deal like Luigi did. Just because the state has conceded that the fact that the evidence is there, they're just trying to get the death penalty off. So if that's all they're going for, why wouldn't he take a plea deal for life without parole?
65% of Utah aggravated murder charges that drop to murder take a plea deal, by the way, for anybody who likes stats as much as I do.
Yeah, but I don't think the death penalty is going to come off. I think the only possibility of it coming off is the jury being offered the lesser charge of murder, just like Carmelo Anthony, what the lesser charge of manslaughter was offered as an option. I
Mhm.
think that's the only way it comes off the table. I don't think the state will agree to it coming off the table for a plea deal. I think they want to make an
Well,
example out of
here's
Tyler.
and I get that. Hey, I don't disagree with you at all. I think he deserves the death penalty, in my opinion, because I mean that was a heinous crime to do in front of all those people. Um, but I feel I kind of agree with Gil that they could go for a plea deal, and the reason why I say that is because Erica has come out and said that she does not want to have his death on her conscience, that she wants the jury to handle it or the state to handle it. So if it is brought to her attention that, hey, there's a plea deal, would you take it? I feel like she would take it. She would agree to it.
It's
So,
possible, but I'm not
so
sure the state will even offer
mhm.
that plea deal.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't know what the Utah laws are about if it's something that they're supposed to offer, but I've heard that, it's not always something that is offered. Um, but it could very well be just because the defense wants to get him off off the death penalty. But that's where I've been kind of following the case and stuff like that. I just find it. I'm just going to be curious as to what the arguments are going to be on September 1st. If the judge is going to be upset by the fact that they were using case law that wasn't relevant, and the fact because basically you're confusing the judge, and judges don't like that. They don't like that at all. So,
It's a good way to get sanctioned.
exactly. Well, and yes. And could that happen? Because, you're giving them false information. And and someone pointed out, I don't remember who it was. They were like, who wrote this briefing? They're like, this this doesn't sound like someone who has years of experience in in these type of cases. Because it was like the briefing I felt was really bad. Um, Especially if you're citing case law that's not even relevant. You're not doing your homework. Like, where's your paralegals at that didn't know that that one case was thrown out in 2015? So it's going to be very interesting on September 1st. It'll be really interesting. But I just want to know when the judge is going to make that decision, because I am, I'm still 50-50 on this, but I think if he gives the indictment, because the statute of limitations for TP and Erica to file defamation, if they do it in Delaware, is only 2 years, and we're already almost through the first year. So if they filed it in Delaware, if they file it in Tennessee, it's 6 months. I think 6 months. What was it? 6 months slander, and then a year for libel. And I think it's the same thing in Arizona. So I think we're going to see lawsuits dropping right after the judge's decision. Because especially if anybody watched The Chicks on the Right with Andrew Colette, and then listening to Andrew Wilson saying everyone should be getting a lawyer soon, we're going to see some lawsuits dropping. And I hope so.
Too many Andrews.
Exactly.
I'm currently looking up on whether or not or how plea bargaining works in Utah, because I don't live there. I don't know. I don't know if only the prosecution can offer, or if the defense can request one. I'm just looking that up really quick.
But whoever gave that information on the Utah, the percentages of, stuff like that, you said it was what, 65% of cases?
Yeah,
Usually get
65 is just the last average. That's me, American Inquisitor.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to bring that up to my lawyer friend because he will find that very interesting.
All right, so defense can request one. The defense lawyer or the prosecutor can start the conversation and negotiate a resolution. Both sides must agree on the terms, and the judge has to approve it.
Thank you. That is very, because I didn't know that, and I think I asked Gil that, and he wasn't sure either, just because he's in California. So that's interesting. I'm going to bring that to him as well.
So, but
yeah, they have to.
I don't see that happening. I don't see, like, even if the
Yeah.
defense, because the defense is essentially trying to get it off the table already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of times with plea bargaining, I mean, a lot of times that's because there's, maybe the case isn't as airtight as they think it is, right? Or that, or that might not be as airtight as everybody else thinks it is, right?
No,
So-
the defense has already pretty much conceded
right,
that it is that it.
which is what that's my point, is the state has already fought against the, having those charges dropped or changed
Mhm.
with their rebuttal that they submitted last week. I
Yeah.
don't see them entertaining a plea deal, because if Erica doesn't want Tyler's death on her conscience, then
Mhm.
she just needs to not be involved in that process and let it be on the state's conscience instead.
Yeah, and I think that's what she's doing. She's letting it on the state, if it gets to the trial, to the jurors. But like I said, they have to exhaust all their avenues. From what Gil was saying as part of defense, they have to exhaust all their avenues of getting evidence suppressed before they can even get to that stage of the plea deal. And that's what he was saying. So it could be at least 6 months, possibly, before they could entertain putting it out there, hey, we'll take a plea deal.
Yeah,
I think the defense will go for it, to be honest with you. I think the defense will hands down go for it. We'll try to ask for one just because they want to get that DP off.
But they've got confessions already and
Uh-huh.
clear premeditation with the bullets and everything. I mean, they have so many enhancements on it. I don't see it being, like, even entertained, because they essentially have everything they need to, put the final nail in the coffin and just call it a day.
Well, I mean, the defense can still entertain it. It's just the state can just deny it. They can just say, nope,
I'm sure
we're
the
not
state
going
will.
there.
I'm sure the defense will try, but I don't think the state will entertain it.
Yeah. But yeah, and before I came into this space, I was just in DD's, the pot sloppers. I just popped in to see what they were kind of talking about, and it's just they're back to the time, the arrest date. Like, they're trying to say that he was arrested in the afternoon, so how could he sent all these text messages, and like, it's just crazy. So they're back to that. So don't be surprised if you see all of that crap going back over. They're just going back over everything.
Well, yeah, because they've run out of things, so they just have to go back to the beginning.
I will say, if anybody follows Mr. Exclusive, I highly recommend that you do. He is a fabulous journalist who's been putting out a lot of great information. He's been boots on the ground. He's been out to Utah, talking to a lot of people. He found in one of the court documents or search warrants where it actually gave for a timeline from the GPS, from the people, the officers who did the GPS, and from his car or something like that, or his phone. I think it was from his phone, and it actually lists in there his exact, like, timeline from when he was in Orem. And they got him on video. It even says in there they've got him on video and on his GPS. So he was in Orem at around 6:30. They caught him between, like, the shopping center and the car wash. Because remember, they've got video of him at the car wash. So, and they say from, like, around a little after 6:30, or around 6:30 to almost 6:57, he was still in Orem. And that blows a huge hole in their Penguich narrative, because there's absolutely no way he would have been at the steakhouse, as they're claiming, around what do they say, like 8:45? He was there ordering his food and picking it up or eating or whatever. There's absolutely no way, if he was still in Orem at 7 o'clock, That's an hour and 45 minutes. It's a 3-hour, almost 3-hour drive to Penguin.
Well, maybe he can teleport.
Yeah, exactly. Astro project. We're just going to teleport and astro project. So, but I
About
found
what
that
you got
really
at this
interesting.
point.
Exactly. So I found that absolutely just fabulous evidence that he found in one of the documents. And I did repost that one from Mr. X, Mr. Exclusive.
Yeah.
But he has great reporting if anybody's following him. Like he's doing a great job. But yeah, there one guy that was on that space as well that was talking. He was like one of the co-hosts, Mr. Community something. He has like a big X space kind of picture. He was saying he's in contact with the parents.
Which would
He
be
literally
a lie.
he literally said that. He literally
There's no
said that.
way.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute. The parents are supposed to be witnesses because their names are listed in the probable cause and the charging documents. So they're
Well,
obviously going to testify. How is he talking to
right.
these parents?
So technically they're not under a gag order. The only ones that are under a gag order are the lawyers for both sides.
Yeah.
But they've also been directed to tell any potential witnesses to not talk to anybody.
They're not supposed to talk about the case. Yeah.
Right.
So I found that interesting because I'm like, I didn't know that that someone's been talking to the parents. I know they've been talking to the grandparents, which the grandparents, I'm going to tell you right now, they probably have no clue what Tyler was doing at all, like, or what his life was going or anything like that. Because I mean, a lot of grandparents don't keep up with a lot of their grandkids, especially, because they don't see them as often as they should. But I just thought it was interesting that he's talking to the parents, especially what he said. I was like, oh my God. So we'll probably see something come out on that.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for inviting me up.
Absolutely. We're always happy to
And
have
tell
other
Sarah
people up.
she's doing a fabulous job, hands down. Absolutely love her. I'm a moderator for the Lady Luck Club, and she did follow the KA case. And I was literally sending her all of Sarah's stuff. And she gave hands down props to shout outs to Sarah on her podcast. So she loves Sarah.
Yeah, we'll pass that on.
Have a great night, guys.
You too.
You can drop me down.
You too.
Yeah, and I actually do already follow Mr. Exclusive. I believe he follows me as well. I can't remember. But no, he puts out really good stuff, and he was the first one to debunk the receipt that you actually cannot connect whatsoever to Tyler. That one. Yep. I mean, if he was there, then the defense would have just brought that in the preliminary hearing as evidence. They're allowed to do that. If GPS tracking showed him somewhere else, defense could have brought that in as evidence. Those things weren't done. All they had was trying to discredit the DNA and the bullet, and that's it. It's not a whole lot of defense going on. Hard when your client has admitted it to multiple people.
And in fact, there's DNA at the scene of the crime on the screwdriver.
And the towel. And the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just pretty damning.
Well, and then trying to say that the entire prelim hearing was hearsay. It was like, really? Like only 3 things on there were hearsay. 3. Everything else was not hearsay.
Yep.
Remember, she's allowed to think.
You're not my daddy. You can't tell me what to think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to look really bad on these podsloppers by the time the trial is over. It already looks bad for those of us with a brain. But
yeah, and the fact that they don't even know how these court systems work. They can't even understand basic legal terms and how certain words are phrased different in legal terms. And I had to break that down to my 17-year-old today because he was asking about it. And I had to break down like what the word aggravated means. And I'm like, what is your definition of the word aggravated? And he gave me his definition. And I said, you do realize the word aggravated has two different definitions. There's the basic definition, English definition, but then there's also the legal definition. So they can't even basically look this stuff up and not realize that the whole reason why they had the probable cause hearing was to bind the 7 charges to the evidence that they were giving.
Yep.
So every piece of evidence had to bind to every charge on there so the judge could bind it over to trial. And it's like they just don't understand any of that. It just goes over their head.
Yeah, well, they watch a lot of investigation discovery, and so they now are like certified investigators with like years of experience because they've watched like 47 different cases. So they
Or the
might as well
YouTube
investigate
lawyers.
them.
I love NCIS.
Yeah, you know what? I granted, I used to love CIS, but it's fake, and I knew that. It was all fake. I knew that. None of that is real. Now, I love watching like 48 Hours because that really is interesting because that's not fake. Like that, like the 48 Hours, not the one where they go over the talking over a story, but the actual one that actually has like the actual detectives doing like we have 48 hours to find the suspect and all that stuff, and they just go through evidence and talking to witnesses and all that stuff. That stuff is interesting, but I'm not going to take my advice from CSI.
But Gil Grissom, Sarah Seidel, we know their names, so we are now experts.
NCIS, let's go.
I know how to use that smoke box to get latent fingerprints to appear. It's magic.
Or let me just use a chunk of ham and blow a bullet into it.
Yes, the whole
Frozen.
pig. Just bring out the whole pig.
Yep, frozen. And let's just go for it. Like, seriously, guys, come on.
Yeah, I have watched every single episode of CSI. I love the show. I've watched actually every single season, every single episode of all the spin-offs as well. I can tell you, I am not an expert in criminal investigations. I'm not. Because I haven't been trained to do those things.
Not yet, anyways.
And there's the investigations that we do are different. We're not trying to say that someone is guilty of a crime. We're just trying to find evidence of something that is questionable and then give that evidence to the proper people. We're not just like, we're investigators now, so we're right. This person's guilty. No, we're like, this is fishy. Here, look at it. Whereas you have Candace Owens and her crew going, hey, this is fishy. Let's just talk about it for the next 11 months on YouTube and X. We don't need to give it to the defense, the prosecution. It's fine. They don't need it. They can find it themselves. If you actually had something that proved his innocence, you wouldn't just hold on to it and talk about it for 11 months. The reason that the defense hasn't done anything about this fucking receipt is because it's not evidence for anything other than someone went to that bar, sat at that bar in that restaurant, and had a steak. Congratulations. I mean, it's absolute insanity that they think that it's like, oh, he was definitely in Penguin. He definitely was there. No,
well,
y'all are
here's
idiots.
my thought. Yeah. Well, who in their right mind would eat Dairy Queen around 6:30 and then go and eat a steak dinner 2 hours later? I can't do that.
That would be a waste of money because I wouldn't be able to finish the steak, and then it's not going to reheat very well.
Exactly. I'm not going to waste a steak.
Yeah, and then they say something like the headless waiter that they interviewed said that like ordered some beers, but there's no beers on the receipts. I mean, it's all so ridiculous.
They're only using the Penguin because Tyler has family there. That's it. That's their whole argument.
And I have, relatives in Brazil. That doesn't mean that, that I go to Brazil regularly. Shoot, I have family inside the state, and I don't go see them very often at all. Like, gonna go visit family and go
Jinx?
get a steak.
You're not part of the criminal gangs in Brazil? Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
Really?
Crazy.
You're not from Sao Paulo?
No. No, I'm not.
Is my mic working okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
So I've been going after Candace for a long time before Charlie was assassinated. And some people know me for a long post I have that has all the receipts, unlike our favorite podcaster, of her rise to fame and the different devious things she's done through the years and her flip-flopping on things. So I noticed when it happened, you had 3 key players that immediately seized on it, and they already hated Charlie. You had Jackson Hinkle, Ian Carroll, and Harrison Smith. And then Candace just started repeating their stuff, saying, everyone's saying blah, blah, blah. Did anyone else notice that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Didn't the Hodgman jump on pretty quickly soon after too?
yeah, but that's not a big shock that they jumped on it.
They're like the ultimate grifters. They just go whichever way
Yeah.
seems to get the most traction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, apparently Candace put out a post a little over an hour ago. Why won't Turning Point USA publicly acknowledge the alleged text message leak from Charlie Kirk to Dan Flood? Andrew Wilson is not a party to the text messages, and he did not know Charlie at all. Can Mrs. Erica Kirk or Andrew Colvett confirm their authenticity? If not, the public is right to assume they are completely fake.
How in the world does she know?
No, Jinx. Jinx, you gotta correct that. She said pubic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I misread that. The pubic. That it actually is indeed what it says. The pubic is right to assume they are completely fake.
The pubic hairs?
Oh my gosh.
What a monstrosity.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, well, now I have to quote post that.
Insert hide in bush meme. Homer Simpson hide in the bush.
Mm-hmm. The thing that really pisses me off about this is that we were all hit hard, right? Fans of Charlie and even people that had never watched much of Charlie at all, we're all hit hard. I mean, it was the most grotesque viral video of all time. I think that's easy to say with certainty.
Yep.
And we were all hit, and it came right after we were all sort of wounded from what happened to Irinia on the train. And it was like bang, bang, it was the double hit. And then you had these people that instead of going after the crazed lib talkers who were singing and dancing and the crazy far leftists that were marching down the street saying fuck Charlie Kirk, instead of going after those people, they flipped and went after paleoconservatives and people with rational minds and have sort of fired a shotgun into the entire part of the online space that should have been galvanized and unified by it, That pisses me off the most about this whole thing.
Yeah, it should have been the one thing that unified the right more than anything else. It should have been that, and it wasn't.
Absolutely.
It divided us even further.
And also, my mom never heard Charlie prior to all this. After the assassination, I saw her watching some Charlie Kirk TikToks. It's like, I don't agree with everything he said, but he's right on some stuff. He'd never heard him prior.
Well, he was his genuine self all the time. He never grifted at all. He was who he was, and you either agreed with him or you didn't, but that was who he was. You saw people like even Sam Hyde, you know, he put out a video, I think 2 days after it happened, where he broke down in tears looking at the camera. Sam Hyde is not the kind of guy to do that. If any of you follow him or have watched any of his content, he's a very edgy, cringe comedian type of, you know, dark humor guy. And he certainly wasn't the type of person that would have ever been at a Turning Point event. But even he was breaking down and crying as he was talking about what had happened to Charlie. And then you had Nick Fuentes, which I was beside myself when Nick Fuentes put out his sort of reaction to everything. And I'm not a Nick Fuentes fan, but holy crap, for Nick to come out and tell his groypers, you're idiots if you think Israel did this. That was big. And just, you know, the respect from so many different people of very different, I guess you could call them right-wing points of view, was real, because it was real. And then you had these podcast stan, whatever they call it, people like Hinkle and Carroll, and then Owens, and then, you know, Stu Peters and the other little hangers on, all jumping in. It's so infuriating. And there's a guy, Heavy Duty Country. I'm from Oklahoma originally, and I used to have a boxing gym in OKC, and he used to come to that gym. I know him, and his content was never any sort of controversial stuff. It was just sort of, you know, folksy. He used to be a bull rider, and he used to do gun stuff, and he used to do constitutional stuff and, you know, Second Amendment stuff. And then this happened, and he got swept up in it to the point where I don't recognize the guy anymore when I see his content. It's all just out of this world, believing the same stuff as Candace, and it drives me nuts.
Well, what was very disappointing is the fact that he was the one that broke the Mitch story, the Mitch Snow story. And I know the researcher he got that information from. And then he just rolls back everything. It's like, how could you sit here and continue your crap after doing that Mitch Snow thing, seeing that she was obviously a liar, and you just roll back everything? It's for the money.
It's all for the money. And I hope that their 30 pieces of silver are worth it, because the problem they're all going to face, from the biggest ones like Candace all the way down to the little fish that are, you know, parroting her stuff, the audience is not going to just be okay with them letting this go and moving on to the next grift. They're going to have to keep doubling down on more crazy tinfoil hat stuff until they are literally flat earth, you know, crazy conspiracy people, because that's the only people that are going to be left to give them donos and pay their bills. The mainstream audiences are never going to touch those people ever again.
Nope. So Alex Jones kind of shocked me too. He got into all that. He's an Alex Jones fan.
I believe that I can't prove it, but I what is it? What is it they say? I don't know, but I know that he's going through a mental health crisis right now. He really is. He's got all the signs of it. I think he's probably binge drinking, using cocaine. He's got all the signs. His eyes are always pinprick pupils, and he's definitely not doing well. And I'm not excusing him. I'll never listen to him again. And I don't think anyone will take these people seriously again. But I think he's been swept up into it by other physical and psychological aspects, as well as being able to make money off of this.
Well, I think he basically just torpedoed his entire career having Hunter Biden on his show.
Yeah,
What
I mean
Tucker was that?
Hunter Biden has been on the world tour. It seems like he's
Was
been
he
on
on
Yeah.
Alex
Tucker.
Jones? I heard Hunter was on Tucker Carlson, but I didn't hear about Alex Jones.
Yeah, and Nick sat down with him. Nick Fuentes sat down with him, which was really surreal because they don't agree on anything. And it's this really weird conversation that they have. Nick basically gets Hunter to talk about being a crackhead and a degenerate, and he pulls it out of him in a way where he makes Hunter feel comfortable doing that. It's very surreal to watch. People that just see like a little clip here and there, but you got to watch the whole thing because he's definitely trolling Hunter. But I don't understand. I want to know who is funding these appearances and who's behind that stuff. I have my theories. I think there's Islamo-Turkish money behind a lot of these people, and I think that there's Qatari money and Chinese money helping these people, if not with liquid cash, then definitely with bots and things like that to make them seem more relevant than they actually are.
Yeah, probably not wrong.
I mean, my number one would probably be Unfuck America tour.
Right. Well, I mean, that's funded by someone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The
Act
whole
Blue. I did
Yeah.
a deep dive into
Yeah.
Zico and
Yeah.
Sanchez. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
I-
is
I
Act
pulled
Blue
up a
even
thing.
turning money over right now? Like, didn't they have to mortgage, like the DNC had to mortgage a building just to be able to fund?
That's,
Well, it was
that's the DNC.
Yeah. It was a shame that a lot of people overlooked the release from the White House a few weeks ago about the Chinese involvement in the Black Lives Matter movement online. Because if you read those documents, they talk about generating consensus online to shame people into not holding certain views. And it's in their documents that with emails that they intercepted and an investigation they did on this. So it's kind of one of those things of, do you think it just happened once?
No, definitely not.
A house divided must surely fall, right? So that's what they're trying to do. They're splitting the Democrat Party with the DSA, and they're splitting the Republican Party with the Tucker Carlson game.
Basically.
That's exactly what's happening.
I think they're underestimating the radical centrists that I think most Americans are. Maybe not the perma online ones, but your average Joe that you see at the grocery store or that you strike up a conversation with when you're getting your hair cut.
Yeah,
We're not the xenophobic, racist, crazy society that it seems like we are online.
right, because I mean, you have to think about it. X is its own world. Okay, there are so many people that are not on X. They don't have any idea that any of this stuff is going on at all. They watch their Fox News or their CNN or their MSNBC, whatever. That's where they get their information. So all of this
Yeah.
infighting, they're not seeing it as much because it's not being broadcast as much on legacy media. We look a whole lot more divided online because the people that are online are really fucking loud.
Yeah, and a lot of people call some of these insane folks like the woke right. I think that's the wrong term for it. I don't think that they were ever on the right. I don't think Candace ever truly was on the right. I think she was just on Candace's side. She started as a leftist that was criticizing conservatives on her Degree 180 blog. And then she sort of fell into, she did that social autopsy thing. Then she sort of fell into her Blexit thing, which got her hired as urban director for TPUSA that she had for less than 2 years. This whole idea of me and Charlie going around the country, she was with him for less than 2 years. It's the most egregious lie she tells. And her fans think they were bosom buddies. Then she went to PragerU. And then she went to Daily Wire, which was them handing an olive branch and saying, we'll hire her even if she has said controversial things, even if she said, Hitler wasn't all bad and all this other stuff that she said when she was at a Turning Point event in the UK when she met George. And then, every single time along the way, she has carried a grudge by what she sees as a perceived insult because people didn't feed into her, narcissistic opinion of herself. And this is what this is all about. She goes after everyone that she thinks wronged her, and all they did was hold her to account. That's why she hates Jeremy Boring. She hates Ben Shapiro. She hates Turning Point USA, their entire staff. And it'll continue. Everyone that has slighted her, in her opinion, by telling the truth online, like Andrew Wilson and Rachel Wilson, they're going to get this kind of stuff happening to them from her. It's just who she is. She's a demented little imp. And that's why I put together this biographical rise of her nonstop lying and deceit so that people could see who they're listening to.
Yeah, she has main character syndrome. She wants all eyes on her all the time. That's why she does this, is because it gets her the views. It gets money in her pockets. I mean, if Charlie was her best friend, why did it take $300,000 for her to debate Andrew? And why did she originally counter with $500,000? It's not about Charlie. It's always just been about her. All about her.
Yeah, if it had been about Charlie and if they were really friends, I think that a real friend of his would have reacted similar to the way Andrew Wilson is behaving, where he's pissed off at the left for the things they said leading up to his death, the things that they did after his death, the fact that all signs are pointing, we don't know for sure, but it's the most likely scenario that Robinson is the shooter and he was radicalized in some sort of online weird group. And he puts out all of the check marks for one of these guys. I'm not saying that he's connected to any of these groups, but like, if you've ever seen any documentaries about 764 or the what is another one, the Order of Nine Angles, they have radicalized the kind of lonely, weird kids that Tyler Robinson was into doing all kinds of horrendous stuff to themselves and others. And so it's not beyond the scope of possibility that there is a conspiracy that killed Charlie, but it's a conspiracy by leftist transgender groups and things like that that sort of sucked him in and made him think that this was a thing he should do.
I agree completely.
And it would be great if all of these so-called independent journalists and just asking questions people would have asked questions and investigated that possibility. But if you ask Grok, has Candace Owens ever floated the possibility that leftists killed Charlie Kirk? The answer is no.
Never. Not once.
Not once.
She straight up said there's 0% chance that Tyler Robinson did this. 0%. Which is insane.
Hassan Piker thinks that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. He said it out of his own mouth, and then in the next sentence says, "But I'm really glad Candace is saying all this crazy shit because it helps us."
Yep, and that's exactly what's happening. It's awful.
To the quiet part out loud.
Yep.
All right.
Hey,
go ahead, Lucky.
Real quick.
Yep.
Yeah, I just hopped up real quick. I just wanted to thank Sippy for going in once again to the Lion's Den. And I know it was kind of like two different roles from these hearings to the trial itself. But you went in there and got us all this information and was reporting on the ground. And to thank you, Jinx, for helping him out and taking those videos and that information and getting it out to us. We really appreciate it. That's all I got.
No, we're always happy to do it.
Appreciate you.
We actually enjoy the on the ground stuff like a lot.
Yeah.
We didn't think we would. It's a lot of fun. It's sticky at times, but it actually is really fun. That's really what we want to do more of.
We've actually got a nice little announcement coming soon.
Yep. Y'all do a really great job of it.
Thank you. All right. I'm closing us out here. We're 11 minutes over. But we will be back Wednesday, same time, same place, for our next space and stream. So everybody have a good first half of
Woo-hoo.
your week, and we'll see you then.